Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from Pocketnow.com, and in this video we're going to show you the browsing experience on the HTC Hero. Then in a few minutes we're going to compare the browsing experience, the rendering fidelity and speed, with Windows Mobile and also iPhone. So that's coming up in a few minutes. But first, let's talk about the browsing experience on the HTC Hero, and let's get a little bit closer in on the screen. Okay, so right now we are over Wi-Fi. And you'll notice that I also have Opera Mini loaded on here. This is from the Market App Store on Android. And the reason I have that is because this device doesn't have US 3G. So it really helps to have a web browser that uses server-side rendering to kind of increase page load times. It would be great if Skyfire had a version for Android, but they don't yet. Skyfire does the same thing as Opera Mini, but I think a little bit better. So let's go into the web browser on the Hero. And the web browser on the Hero makes really good use of screen space. It always goes full screen, much like most of the applications in Android, and to get to any sort of function you have to press the menu key. Doing so, and right now we're in landscape it looks like, let's flip it back over. Doing so will bring up the address bar, plus some buttons that we're going to explore later. So let's go to a website. Let's go to Pocketnow.com. And we'll see how long it takes. It's already coming up here. And it's done. It was about 15-20 seconds, which isn't too bad, a little bit slow. And as you can see, it's doing Flash up here. And just like you saw before, we can rotate to landscape, although it takes a little bit too long. The Hero does have multi-touch, so you can pinch to zoom out, although it's strange that it starts zoomed in. It should start actually zoomed out a bit more. And of course, you can flick downwards, like so. And what you don't get, as seen with other mobile browsers, is the grid pattern if you flip down really fast. So it has really good rendering capability in terms of refreshing the page. You can also use the trackball if you want to flick up forward. It kind of makes for a nice scroll wheel, actually. And if we want to zoom in, we can double tap on a column. And it will resize the column, although it kind of fakes it. This should be a bit wider. And we can zoom a little bit more. We can move it around on the page and see websites just like they appear on the desktop. Now, if we go down here and hit the menu button, we can do a few things. For example, we can go to the selection of windows. Right now I have two windows open. You kind of get this cover flow-like look to the different windows that are open. And here we are on a YouTube page, and I'm going to play this video, which is obviously Flash-based. And I say the Hero sort of does Flash because on Flash banners and certain Flash applications, it will work. But in the case of Hulu does not work. We were on a YouTube page, and we couldn't get the streaming YouTube video right on the page. Actually, what happens is it links to the YouTube application, kind of like the iPhone does with YouTube videos. So let's go and open up a new window and go to a different website. So we can just press the plus button here. Now let's go to cnet.com, see how that looks. And so it brings up the keyboard, has the .com built in, and we'll hit go. Let's do landscape. Okay, it's done already. It looks like we have the mobile version of CNET right now, and so there's not really much to zoom out on. We can tap along to reviews. And again, we got the mobile version, so it's a lot faster than the full desktop version. Although we can go down here to view full CNET site, so see what it looks like on the Hero. Here we are on the full CNET site, and let's see how it looks zoomed out. Still loading a little bit. It looks pretty good. We get the Flash animation, we get all of the text aligned the way it should be. We can pinch to zoom or double tap to zoom in. So pretty good in terms of rendering fidelity. Let's go into the menu and see what kind of options that we have. So we can go back. It's kind of unfortunate that the back button isn't built right into the screen. It's great that the Android browser takes advantage of the entire screen, but again, you have to drill into a setting or the menu button to do really anything, to go back or to press refresh, or this becomes a stop button if it's loading the page. So we can make a new bookmark, or we can go to more. And there are some items we have here. Let's go to settings, see what kind of settings there are on the web browser. and change the home page. By default, it's htc.com. You can choose to load images on web pages if you want to save on data and make it come up faster. You can block pop-up windows. You can turn on or off the mobile view if you want to have pages load faster. Enable JavaScript. New windows open behind the current one, or if they open in the current one. Change the text size, and it actually may make sense to make it smaller so that you see more on the screen at one time if your eyes can handle it. And we can clear cookie data, clear cache. It'll save passwords and all that sort of advanced stuff that you get on a desktop browser. Change the cache size, enable plugins, although I'm not sure of any plugins that work with this browser. I'm sure there are some in the application store. And you can reset everything back to default. Okay, so we're going to try to pull off an amazing feat here by getting all three of these devices to launch Engadget at the same time. We've got the Omnia 2 running Windows Mobile using Opera Mobile 9.5, the iPhone 3GS running Safari, and the HTC Hero running the Android browser. So let's try to do this at the same exact time, not making any promises. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, ready, set, go. And they're off. Nice. Okay, the iPhone 3GS looks like it's ahead. And it won. iPhone 3GS won. Followed by... Is the Hero going to win or the Omnia? It's a close call. Progress bars are still loading. They're much further behind the iPhone 3GS. Loading some final elements in the page. Hero, second place. Omnia coming up in last place. Still not done. Here it goes. So let's move around the web pages, see kind of how they look. Notice how the Hero starts in a zoomed in position. And then the iPhone 3GS kind of is very much zoomed out, and then the Omnia is kind of halfway there. It's got part of the page there. It may be hard to tell, but the AMOLED screen on the Omnia 2 is really showing its stuff right now. It's just beautiful with the blacks and how crisp everything is. So let's kind of move down the page and see what it's like to just flick down the page. So it looks like the Omnia has a problem with redrawing the page if you move down too fast. The iPhone 3GS moves a little bit slower, but it doesn't have the problem with the checkerboard, and nor does the HTC Hero, which doesn't have as smooth scrolling as the iPhone 3GS, but it can actually go a little bit faster. So let's zoom into a column. I'm going to zoom out on all of these, and for this, well, we're already zoomed out. Let's find the story at the top and zoom into the text all the way up here by double tapping on the entry. Here we are. So I'm going to double tap here, see what it looks like. So it wraps the text, but doesn't in a weird way. The iPhone 3GS formats it perfectly, and the Omnia 2 kind of does it very similarly to the Hero. It doesn't actually... It wraps the column in a smaller area than the iPhone. So let's zoom out again, and let's go to another web page. Okay, next up we have Yahoo Finance. So we've got them loaded up here, and we're going to hit go. Try to do it at the same time here. 1, 2, 3, go. There we go, and they're off. iPhone 3GS is, looks like it's coming up first. Yep, it's first. Hero is... The Omnia 2 may actually beat the Hero. Wow, almost the same time, the Hero and the Omnia 2. So again, let's take a look at how these three devices render Yahoo Finance. So again, the iPhone 3GS starts from a very zoomed out position. The Samsung Omnia does kind of halfway zoomed out, but it's not completely zoomed out. And on the Hero, it starts in the upper left corner of the site, which actually doesn't really make a lot of sense. So we can pinch to get the outside view. So let's just scroll down the page, do a little flick, and see how it works. So it goes right to the bottom. It's a little bit smoother here, and it went right down without having any checkerboard. Now let's do a test of the screen rotation in Yahoo Finance. Now turning over three devices at the same time is probably going to be very difficult, so we're going to do these two at a time. First we'll compare the Omnia with the iPhone. So the iPhone was a bit faster, and turn it back over. Okay, let's do that again. I don't think that was fair. I didn't turn it completely over, and so the Omnia is definitely slower than the iPhone. Let's compare the Omnia to the Hero in screen rotation speed. And so, I know it's hard to see at this angle. Okay, ready, go. Well, the Hero went very, very fast. The Omnia 2 is slower. And let's compare the Hero with the iPhone in the screen rotation speed test. So let's flip over now. Faster on the iPhone 3GS. Faster again. Just faster by half a second. Not very significant. The Hero has pretty fast screen rotation speed. Sometimes that half a second feels like a long time. So overall, the web browser on the HTC Hero is quite good. It's not as fast as the iPhone 3GS, and it does have some flaws, like it starts the page zoomed in instead of zoomed out. But it does perform well, and it doesn't have the checkerboard pattern that sometimes we find in Opera Mobile 9.5. It doesn't have full flash support. It kind of has half flash support. It doesn't let you look at Hulu videos or certain other video sites. But most of the mobile browsers, like, Opera Mobile 9.5 and Safari on the iPhone don't support Flash anyway, so that's not really expected. So that's it on the web browsing experience on the HTC Hero. We'll be back soon to talk about the market and the whole application buying process on the HTC Hero. We'll be back soon with more.